pilot episode. Oh ho! Welcome to the show, to the print shop. I'm so excited. This is the Comix Wellspring Insider Show, where we'll be bringing you company updates, answering your questions, and we're actually going to be giving you a first look of what we're building for you in the background of everything. In this very first episode, we're going to be diving into print-on-demand updates, our Discord server launch, and some really cool campaign shoutouts. I'm joined by, well, of course, I'm your host, Brandon Bloxdorf, your brand and community director, and I'm joined by my bosses, basically. So hi, everyone. You know, we got to
all right, good.
The bosses. We got Dan Hills, our CEO here. Hello, Dan. Thank you for joining us.
Hey.
You got a show now. You're like a staple character now in the show. This is going to be exciting.
I'm honored.
You have a solid recurring on this show, and we just started.
yeah.
Continued guest. Got it.
And we have our new marketing director, Chris Poirier. My dude, thank you for being part of this. Yeah, you're still
thanks for having me. Did I have a choice?
You didn't. Yeah, I got you right into this. Dude, this has all been really cool. What we're doing with the show is so exciting, because what we really wanted, and to also help my job and make it a little easier, was like we wanted to hear straight from the community. There's so many updates going on with CWS, with what we're doing with print on demand, with what platforms we're working with and partnering with, and what's coming in the future, and what we've changed. And there's been so much change the last 2 years since I've been on the team, at least, and we've been doing all of this insane stuff. So I'm going to kick it off to Dan, because Dan is the guy who has all the answers. He's been building all this.
That's what I've been.
Oh no.
we with print on demand, what is the status? What is going on with print on demand? There's a lot of rumors, a lot of things going up in the air. Let's clear the air a little bit.
Yeah.
Right now, what's going on? What are our platforms we're on, and any other updates with those platforms too?
Yeah, totally loaded question, but a lot's going on. We're building. That's what we're doing. We're knee deep in building infrastructure, not only the platform itself, but logistical internal teams, and just kind of like taking a new approach to how we see Comix Wellspring serve the industry as we go forward. But as POD stands, we're literally on the cuffs, I think, in the next 24 to 36 to 48 hours. I shouldn't give any types of beta testing.
Spoilers.
I'll say stress testing, kind of the system that we have it at now with a couple of platforms. Before I get into that, though, like what are we doing realistically? First off, let me just clear the air with using the terms print on demand. We already offer print on demand. Print on demand is as the name suggests, it's just being able to print by clicking a button. Now, what we are offering or a few buttons. Now, what we are offering more specifically is the book of one, minimum thresholds, no minimum quantities. That's the game changer. But that is, again, part of a system, which is the creator dashboard. Let me start with this. Creating a comic, and you know this, Brandon, Chris, you know this too. Creating a comic is already challenging enough. Writing, drawing, lettering, editing, it's a massive creative lift. But the real problem is that once creators finish the work, the industry literally makes everything after that harder than it needs to be to get books out there. So comics haven't really meaningfully innovated their infrastructure in decades, this comic industry, especially for indies. So creators still are faced with like these fragmented tools, upfront costs, confusing, and I would even say, sewn together construct of the print infrastructure for them. So like they're confusing past the print. I print over here for that and over there for that, and great, but I think that's adding more confusion to an already difficult situation of handing over money in hopes that you'll sell. So there's confusing paths to print distribution actually reaching like broader audiences. We've all been told the same thing, you know, go to your family and friends first, and then, you know, then go out into the real world and try to find these micro niches that are going to be into your subgenre of your comic book, which that's an insurmountable mountain to climb. But at CWS, what we're really building, I guess, in the broader scheme of things, is a creator first operating system that removes those kind of friction points, starting with the thing that truly brings life to this industry, and that's print. Print's the hardest component. Production is the hardest component to kind of master in the creator ecosystem for comics. So we automate the back end, connect creators to global print and retail network, and then let humans focus on the art instead of the obstacles that have been in the way for many years. So with that is, as we said, there's this print on demand book of one system we're creating that not only, I like to think of it as a living entity, that you have your global supply chain that is consistently vetted up to the CWS print standards, and that's a non-negotiable. That's the only way this works. That we monitor as we partner with these printers in other countries and using the same material machines. And then you have the technology, which streamlines a lot of stuff. Prepress being one of them. We've already built the technology. We're just kind of piecing everything together and building a bridge between the two. That way we can focus on actually delivering sustainable and scalable tools and resources, and a good brand to sit there and advocate for indie creators, making a level playing field for indie creators of all size with publishers, removing gatekeepers and stuff. So that's where we're at. When it comes to like where does print become enabled, print on demand, book of one become enabled for everyone out there? Well, first, to be honest, the outside of beta testing, we're going to launch with a couple platforms, marketplace platforms. That is going to allow us to not only stress test, but also just enable more platforms for creators to, you know, sell their books immediately with just simple integration. While at the back end, we are still building, we're going to be building our dashboard, which will be kind of Q2 of 2026, which will be your centralized home to integrate with these platforms for marketplaces, but also build your projects, manage your projects, collect data. Everything's intuitive. And like I said, most printers and most companies out there and brands, they build an e-commerce and then they create a profile for the user. And everything's based off that e-commerce. The way we're approaching it, and the way I've always wanted to approach it, was build a professional dashboard for the creator and have e-commerce be a component of many suite of tools to treat comic creators, indies at any size, like the professionals they are, just like you see in every other industry. So that's where we're building. We're going to start rolling out with, I mean, I can name drop because I think the PR is already out there. Global Comics, of course. We're still working on road mapping when that release will be. Both parties have to agree. And then Comix.1, which we're beta testing now. That's going to be kind of our first platform we roll out slowly. Again, that is your only avenue to print on demand book of one in the early release. Again, we're kind of keeping it closed doors to test to make sure the buyers at the end get their books, everything, the system rolls out really well. There's no bugs, there's no hiccups, and then we'll very quickly pick up pace of enabling more and more creators. If you're already in our print ecosystem, we're planning that out now, but there'll be a lot more development to come. That's why we're having these meetings here. It was a lot.
Yeah, no, it's so much. It's there's so much to kind of consider. You know, there's the global comics announcement we had,
yeah,
and then the Comix.1. And then there's our own announcement that we're kind of having outside of all of that. So it's one of those things. Creators are so eager to jump into this. They see it and they want it now immediately. But I think within, I would say 6 months to a year, we should be smooth sailing, rolling across everything.
For sure.
But it's
I think
building
6
blocks.
months is a different world for indie creators in our community.
And it's all, a lot of it's beta too. We're gonna have beta sessions for the dashboard. We're gonna have beta just like what we're doing Comix.1, just because there's a. Tell me a little bit about the technical side. I think that's where people look over.
I guess the big picture is this. We want to usher in the new comic focus technology into this space that other industries that dabble in print are already accessing. There's just not one for comics. So the technology is handled just like any technology company. I mean, we have to go through iterations. We have to test. We have to make sure that this works at scale, and stress test at scale. And that's exactly what we got to do and what we are doing. So that's what takes time. And we want a product. Everything we do, we want it to run through the the creators have to get feedback. That's the only way to make a really great product. So that's what we're focusing on. So everything kind of has rollout. We will be kind of putting together a roadmap of some of these things that we'll share outward. It would be a long roadmap if I shared everything that I had on my head, but that's how we're going to approach that, the technology part. So basically, like I said, it will be an intuitive dashboard where you can, everything's kind of centralized there, where you can create projects, you can upload your books, you can print right then and there, you can integrate outward and inward. So if you have a dashboard, you can connect it to, eventually, I'm not going to say when, but you'll be able to connect with your storefront or one of the other marketplaces that we're partnered with and sell through there, with always having your book in the CW print ready catalog. And that's held near and dear to our hearts. So we kind of help streamline and enable platforms and creators to access this. And then it's just scaling after that, getting into new countries, new regions for creators, negotiating those kind of opportunities out, and really seeing where the demand is and how we can access more marketplaces for our community here in the States too.
And see, that actually bleeds into like some questions that are popping up. Dave here says, my collaborators are in Europe and Asia. They're dying to get access to print copies for the local stores and shows. What's the global plan?
Which one are you reading? That I just saw two of them come in.
Yes,
my collaborator, Europe and Asia.
Mm-hmm.
Access to print copies of their local stores and show. What's the global plan? Yeah, so it's really about, I think it goes into that second question that Dave, you had. It's really about, all these big printers want work, but not all of them care as much as we do. So we are, and as fast as we want to run, we are vetting our partners super serious. Because I mean, I've said this to the team, it's not high quality printing. That should be a non-negotiable anymore. It's collectible grade printing. That's the standard I want to set. A lot of these printers out there can do that. And I'm talking about wholesale printers, not some of the branded ones that claim that they do printing, but the wholesalers out there. So when it comes to like regions, like accessing new countries and new regions around the world, first we got to go in and do some groundwork. We got to like talk to these printers. They have to like go through our rigorous like SOP kind of training. And not only that, they got to meet us with price points. So that is passed on to you guys. So there's kind of a process in place, and we have some really talented people I brought on board that is helping us do that. Our new global supply chain strategist who has decades of experience in this realm. So there is a rigorous vetting process for quality control, because the one thing I said to both of you guys is, I think one of the most important thing is consistency. And if something goes wrong, Dave, then that's us. So our guarantees that we want to put out there is that consistency is the output. There's like no questions asked on Book of One stuff. If it's clearly a printer issue, if it's clearly something, A, we replace it. B, we monitor that. So the system only works when we get to monitor these partners as well. So there is going to be a standardization. So it might take a little time to get into some countries to find the right partner, but we're already 3 steps ahead of vetting that system. Yeah, they're the best. So thanks, Dave. Yeah, Pam and Mary.
For our listeners, Dave also said, I just got my first order from CWS last week. Excellent customer service from Pam and Mary. Shout out to them. Super shout out. Pam and Mary are saving us every day. Thank you, Mary. Mary helps me so much. Mary's amazing. Even with the Apollo book, she's always.
I think that answered the question, though.
It's one of those things, we're looking for the right partners in these other countries, and that's just taking time. We're ensuring that our non-negotiables are met, and we're making progress throughout the entire world. We're also figuring out where the demand is for these countries, so we know who to attack first and how to like get them activated and start serving those customers right away.
And who would have guessed? I mean, that the highest demand is other countries getting into the US market. That's definitely a big. So of course, starting here is probably the best advantage for creators, but quickly, we're already in talks with, UK's, EU, UK. So those are two easy, our CROs in UK. So that's a good place to have boots on ground already. So we will be expanding pretty quickly. I think that phase 1 is about just showing what's possible in the Book of One print on demand space for comics when it's done appropriately, because there are print on demand Book of Ones out there, but again, it's we print everything for anyone, and you know how I feel about that. They have their spot in the world, but not in our space, because when it comes to collectibles, when it comes to comics, when it comes to people's creation, like to this extent, care and knowledge of the craft is absolutely incredibly important for the production processes. So having a team like ours focus in on we don't have any distractions. It's from here on out. I mean, even from last decade, it's all been about comic production, and basically figuring out how can we overcome a lot of industry problems through what we're building, through the brand, through the production, through the products offerings, all that stuff. So you can't really do that when you have 500,000 different personas to try to sell to or focus on with your technology. So that's a big point to make. I want the creators and our partners to know that not only were they partner with a great printer and great experience and cool, tools and gadgets and all that stuff, but like the printer they're dealing with loves their work just as much as them, or in general, just loves comics and wants to see the future generation thrive. This industry is powerful. And Chris, you actually always make this a point, and I like that about you, because I always sit there and talk about the problems with the industry, but Chris always reminds me, yes, but dude, there's so much good happening in this industry. There's so much evolving, but one thing that's not, and we want is the infrastructure, and that's our job, our responsibility. And I think I'm going on a tangent here, but I think that's important to note. That's an important
I think it bears repeating. Some folks have seen Comix Wellspring say it over the time, and it's a phrase that I've latched onto. And guess what? You're going to see it a lot more. You're going to hear it a lot more. Is for creators by creators. That's not just a pithy tagline that some guy with the title of marketing director or CEO or community director came up with. Like that's for real. Like, if anything, I sit here as the guy that can't draw, can barely write. I mean, I can write excellent copy when asked to write copy. But I typically haven't stepped foot into the creator space, but Brandon has, Dan has, like this entire team is creators, and I either need to become an editor or write something so that I can join everybody else. And they're slowly talking me into that because we don't want that just to be a tagline. You're going to see us repeat this because we mean it. And I think that's where you were ending up, Dan, is that this is our opportunity for us to say we're not just another mom and pop or gigantic nameless corporate printer. We are the comic book printer because that's what we care about. Because all of us are trying to get books printed and brought to the show or to the masses as well, because we want to enable storytelling to take place. And we know that matters because it's your story. It's our story. And we get it when someone's like, oh, this page is kind of bent. And that's why other printers are like, cool, that happens to X percentage of every run. Congratulations. You're within margin. And we're like, no, do better.
Yeah. And see, that's what's been so great about, the vetting process too. And since I run Apollo City Comics, we got to test out a couple printers on like my books and my orders. So I really got to sit there and compare the quality between what I've received from CWS so far and what these other printers did great or did not do great on. And we've actually X'd out a few people because the quality that we received for the Apollo books, we're just like, this isn't up to par. Here's the list of why, let's move on. And if they can't meet those negotiables and our quality, then we can't work with them. And that we're very strict to that because, me as a creator and running a brand, I would hate to promote a book that wasn't the best quality book I could put out to buyers and to my community. And I would also hate to also sell a book that wasn't printed well when I work for a great printing company and I'm making my own comics. So I'm like a double-edged sword on, I need it to be ultimate perfection.
Yeah.
And as a previous CGCer, back in the day when I was really into collecting, I look at everything with a fine-tooth comb, and anything that doesn't work out great, I'm bugging the team like, hey guys, can I get it? Which has never happened, which is great.
Still looking for that 10 gem mint that does not exist.
Right. Never going to either.
You could get it fresh
That's
off the
how they
printer,
stay in business. So no, that's good. That's a good note, Brandon, because it all comes back to specialties. We're going into a world where, you need specific needs. And in the industry or sub-industry, you have specific needs, and rather than going to, it's like you're going to a specialty store compared to like a, warehouse store like Walmart, and like, what you're going after in those two different, and what you're going to get at those two different types of stores. So like what we need to, what we are focused on and what we'll continue to focus on is treating creators independent, whether they're on their first book or their 50th book or their super big publisher, to treat them as a professional, and take this industry serious, because it is serious. And I've firsthand witnessed customers who quit their day job because they continuously growing. Like that's something that's huge. So they need tools. You need tools. I need tools. We need tools that keep up with the progression of the world around us, but also delivering this quality collectability, but also just enabling bigger and broader audiences to absorb and enjoy our works that we put out in the world. And frankly, like I said, a lot of other industries have that. Comics just needed someone to come in, not a conglomerate printer, but a printer that focuses on what the needs are, super close to the industry, and only focuses on the industry, only focuses on the craft. That's how you become agile. That's how you solve problems fast. That's how you fall fast and get up fast. And that's exactly those are the beats that we're going. So you have to specialize. Just like a niche, however you guys pronounce it. I've heard both.
Yes.
I throw them all out there. But just like indie creators, your small niche market. You got to go after it hard, and you got to specialize. You got to play into why your audience likes that genre. That's exactly what we are.
And
we're. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, Oh yeah, it's just bounce into this question real fast. Saboteur Comics, am I reading this right? Are you planning to get into distribution too? How would creators host and launch their books on your platform if you're handling print on demand?
Yeah, I like this question.
Saboteur rules.
I think everyone knows how I feel about distribution. I'll say it again.
We don't have any feelings on distribution.
I'll say it a billion times over again. I think there's no need to have another set of hands in the cookie jar, but that's just me. I think, no, I keep saying that. I know that this industry needs to evolve without being confined by distribution models that are 20 years old. So to answer your question, the platform is going to be, how could I put this? Imagine a project management system where you can set up your titles to be print on demand. You can do the pre-press process, and it's a living project that you have, a living product within your back dashboard. You can link that out and sell a book of one directly from a link, or you can embed it into your site, or you can just integrate with the marketplaces. When it comes to like functions that direct to retailers, we got something built. We got something we're working out with that too. So what I think when it comes to distribution is cutting the distribution gatekeepers out of the picture and creating a relationship between shop, retailers, and creators with technology. We can skip over the gatekeepers. I know distributors have their place in some aspects. I'm not ignorant to that. But I don't think that people need to fall into that realm. So yeah, good. I'm glad I answered that. But the fact is, the power behind this dashboard is unprecedented. I think in terms of the power going back into the creator's hands and negating some of those structures that were in place that really created this clear line between big publisher and indie creator. And I think it's time that we dismantle that and serve everyone fairly, but give everyone actually an equal opportunity to get into shops, to leverage their data, have a great, community to lean into, and a marketplace to sell from. Not only a marketplace, but multiple marketplaces that really allow you to diversify your reach. So I'm trying to not to say see the wrong things or step on any toes, but yeah, I think in general, my short answer is this: the old way of distribution needs to change. And we've seen a certain company fall because of some of those things. And then people are picking up the same thing and doing the same thing. So I would like to see, I'm excited to see the impact and the change of mindset within our industry after we put this to work. This dashboard and this interconnective ecosystem.
I love that. Yeah, it's one of the Jack Kirby thing. The old gods died and the new gods are here, and that's what we're charging forward with the whatever world we're on, 6th, 7th, whatever. And we've spoken a lot about tools and quality and upgrades. Actually, I think it was Saboteur Comics that asked us on Spilled Ink the other night. But what machines are we using now, and how does it differ from our quality previously as well?
Yeah. Okay. No, this is a good question. And then they clearly know. I love when people ask about that. That means they care about, they're looking at this detail, which is important. I advise every creator to kind of know these things too. So we started on toner-based printing presses, which were great for serving smaller volumes, fast. The quality output was pretty good. Is pretty good still. I mean, there's no arguing that colors are good, but you got to lay a lot of color, so it's not inkjet. So as we've grown, though, we've expanded our print power by partnering with this vetted network. So it expands our options, not confined by specs or quality output, but but also not confined by volumes. So we're going from this simple set of toner base. We've expanded into, HP indigos, inkjets, digital offsets, and even web. So we're going to be able to offer, that enables us to offer a broader scope of volume quantities, but also not lose that quick short run turnaround. So basically, like I said, our menu's getting bigger, but we're using it. I would say we're using it smartly to enable creators to kind of have more options. So inkjet and indigos is kind of where we're heading, because the indigo output, I think everyone that knows printing knows indigo's output is pretty remarkable. So we're kind of leaning into that for a lot of the short runs, but we're not going to kind of abandon ship on what we've already been doing, because we have been printing through indigos, kind of rolling that out and changing that. But again, at the end of the day, it's about the quality output, the SOP that the partner puts into place that follows what we've done for 10 years, but better, because this also gives us a chance. I was just talking to our production team. This also gives us a chance to look at the nuances that we've saw as flaws and make them better. The little stuff, the collectible grade stuff. So we're just expanding a lot of our powerhouse to a diverse set of printers, but obviously one set of the SOP and our operating procedures is just, if it's this type of book, it goes on that type of machine. That way we can maintain consistency across the board. Answer your question?
Yeah, I think that was solid. Super good. And that's really what kind of gets really creators excited, who do, like you said, who do know about the printing technical aspects of it all. It's just knowing the machines, and they get trust because of that in general as well. And Saboteur says, I know I've asked Brandon a question. Stock. How's the newsprint as a stock option looking?
So newsprint, this question gets asked all the time. First, newsprint, if you're really looking for traditional newsprint, man, maybe it's too early for me to talk about this. If you're looking for traditional newsprint, you got to know how that's done. You got to have a web press, and you have to, if you're really looking for the real stuff, and it's got to be large runs, absolutely large runs. You can get it. We can get close, and we've been exploring options for like newsprint for a long time, but it's not the same thing, right? So, but the real newsprint is something that I am pretty gung ho on getting as an option. Oh man, yeah. There'll be newsprint down the road, because there's an avenue that I built that will enable us to do it. But man, I blab too much, so I'll try to hold my tongue on this. But yes, newsprint's down the pipeline. It's absolutely a demand enough, but there's a specific way we got to approach it that makes it scalable for the creators to get a great price.
Honestly, it's one of those things. I sometimes
I know. I'm sorry, Dave. There is a secret. I'm trying not to, and I am the worst at keeping secrets. So
This is fine.
Yeah.
Keeping Brandon thoroughly employed.
I'm just excited. I'm passionate about what we're doing, and there are a lot of cool things. I love to build, and I love build solutions for the people that I care about, and especially in a time like this, there's a lot of weird things going on in our creative space. And frankly, I think if you have the brand and you have the position, you have a responsibility to feed into this creator space, humans first. And I feel like, and that drives me. So that there's a lot of cool things. It all stems back to problem solution. I'm hearing problems. I'm listening to problems over the last 5-6 years. It doesn't hurt that I came from CMO. So really knowing the data and what we're putting in place over the next 12 months trust me, every creator, if they don't use us, will want to be incorporated in this community. And when we build this community, that means more success for everyone. Shared success.
And that's awesome. And that'll close off the Tom Holland comic. That was so great. I love that.
Nice. I'll take it.
Community. That's a great segue to our next big announcement.
Community.
And we're actually going to announce.
Whoa, that was cool.
Nobody knew about that but me. It was cool. But we're announcing our CWS Discord server. I know everyone has a million Discord servers they're a part of, and
now you have 1,000,001.
Yes, it is for us. I'm actually dropping another link in our chat right now. You guys could follow and jump in. And this Discord server is so exciting. We actually just crafted it. There's a lot of features that are going on with it.
Like
rules where you could follow all of our stuff, announcements that'll be happening, everything from just introducing yourself to the team, general chats, a section where you could talk about making comics and the craft, where you could promote yourself, get feedback from your peers. Spilled Ink will be hosted there to bring on people. A print shop page where you could ask questions that we will answer, a team finder so you could help make your comics and find the right team, and feature requests. So things you want to see from us, and of course the customer support as well. So it's a pretty packed Discord. There's links in the episode description. There's actually, where did everyone go? My bad. Let me add this back to the stage and minimize that.
Isn't that amazing?
And so I'm hyped. I'm so hyped to have another central hub. If you're following us on Instagram, we kind of operate out of there with our channels, our broadcast channel, which will still have lots of announcements. But this Discord channel, it's really just to be a bit more intimate with you guys. And so I can just hang out with you guys so we could talk, so we could bring on new guests to Spilled Ink and on these shows, and also just network and share tools and tips. And there's things that we're building like cohort programs and just different announcements. So if you want to be in the know, our Discord channel is going to be really pivotal. It's launched today, so a lot of people have been hopping into the server. If the link is weird, just refresh it. It was being weird with a couple people, but if not, just shoot me a message on any CWS platform, and Chris and I will be answering that. I forget Chris helps me with social media now. It's so cool. I love it. Sometimes I check stuff and I'm like, it's all taken care of. I love it. But yeah, that's the big announcement, I suppose, is that the Discord.
No, yeah, that's a big announcement. I think that's a great. Again, yeah, I think Brandy, you nailed it. It's the communication line between us and the community is absolutely important. And mind you, this last 2 years was pretty crazy for us after being acquired and moving and going through all that. So now that we've gotten traction, we got a powerful team, we got a vision, we got a roadmap. We're more positioned to have these intimate conversations, get tons of feedback. We want to build the thing that everyone wants and needs for success. So having these open forums, having these channels of communication, really opens up opportunities for us to create something amazing, truly amazing, which I know we are doing. So very exciting stuff.
It's definitely one of my biggest goals, is to make us a community as much as we are a company. We have a product, but it's also about us coming together as creators. Like I said earlier, something about for creators by creators. I said you're going to hear it again and again, maybe again, but a large part of all of this is being able to say that all of our media functions as a two-way street, that I don't sit here and just throw things into the ether at all of you, that our goal is that we are hearing from you as much as we are communicating things out to you, so that we can constantly be making our offerings better, etc., etc., etc.
Love that. And so, I think that's it for our Discord section of everything. So please check out the episode description. There's a link there. There's a link here in the chat. There's links all over Instagram, and I believe even in our link tree thing that we have on all of our channels too. Head there. You'll be able to join. You'll be able to chat. It's going to be just so much better to talk to you guys, because Instagram, we're all overwhelmed. So it gets us off of that a little bit, and then onto a little communal stuff.
Yeah.
But we're going to move on to some campaign highlights. And so
Love it.
Campaign.
Doesn't get old. It doesn't get old.
We you know what we
Am I
love
climbing up the side of the building while that's happening every single time?
just that awkward moment, people looking on the side.
Yeah, Jiminy Willikers, Batman.
We need special guests to pop up just for that
Right.
one moment. Yeah. We always like spotlighting campaigns, and we know this last year we've been trying to figure out new ways to do that, and this is a way that's temporary. You know, we're going to figure out better ways to promote your campaigns, to get you guys out there. We know that us sharing your work and sharing your campaign links, sharing your posts means a lot, and just getting word to find 1 or 2 extra backers for you guys is our goal. We want you guys to have success. We want you guys to like go over your limits and hit those stretch goals. So we have 3 campaigns we're going to just highlight real fast, because if you fill out our crowdfunding form, there's a link in the episode description for our crowdfunding program. Not only do you get a discount, but we'll give you a proper shout out on this too, because it would give us the direct link. And so I'm going to share my screen real fast. And one that just launched today is this awesome book called Lawful Justice. This is by a couple of really great creators, Neil and Vanilla Gaming Comic Company. They're doing some really cool stuff. This is volume 1, just launched this afternoon. We're really excited to be working with these guys on their campaign and printing their book for them. So, I mean, check out there's links also in the episode description for this book. Really great stuff. I know, let's see, Neil Heron, he's been doing some great stuff. If you look him up, you'll see his resume, and it's insane. He drew this entire book. We had a few other illustrators. Kyle, I believe.
Kyle?
Yes, Kyle.
That's my boy Kyle.
If you've seen our CWS icons, Kyle did so many of them. So really cool to be supporting this. Really excited to back this project. And, you know, CWS does back a lot of projects. So if you guys have campaigns, we would love to support them.
I think that's a good segue into a thought that what if let's have like the community vote on some of the maybe focus topics too, because one of the things, or we give them options, or you give you folks options on that, because what I was thinking is we are looking into like making the crowdfunding program a lot better. I really want to focus on that because, as you said it, if we really want creators to succeed, and just getting 1 more backer, I mean, that's a game changer. That could change whether it goes to production, whether it gets to distribute or not. So we definitely want to like make the crowdfunding program better, and we want to really have a focus on that. And we're lining up a lot with that, partners and program itself. So maybe that's a topic for one of these discussions as a Q&A. I would love to get community feedback on how we can structure a really great program. Obviously, we have our own ideas and we know what works, what doesn't, but at the same time, hearing from everyone in this community is important. So, curveball.
No, yeah, honestly, that's the prime goal for all of this. You know, just hearing what you guys want from us. That's why the Discord is so important too, so that we can actually deliver what you guys want in terms of content, in terms of shout outs, in terms of ways that no other company is probably doing for you guys as comic creators. We will do it or find a way to do it.
Because at the end of the day,
I might pop in there and drop some Q&As myself to everyone.
Yeah. This next book is Sinclair #3. Has 12 days left. Just a little, like over $100 they need to actually get funded. So check that out as well. Really cool stuff. They've been tagging us all over Instagram as well. And another book that is about to launch. Let me pull that up right over here. This is the last one that we're going to share for today. Bam. Tainomaki. The Rebellion of the Gods Against Titans. Really cool book. We just got this form sent in. They'll be launching pretty soon. If you look on Instagram, they have ads all over too. So you might have seen it there as well. But great illustrations. These creators are really cool dudes. So please check them out on Instagram. Actually, if you look up the title of the book on Instagram, their profile will pop up. So follow them. They're based out of Austin. I will rep anyone who's from Texas. So glad you guys are kicking ass with this. And I can't wait for the launch to pop up as well. But that's pretty much it in terms of crowdfunding updates. And we have like just a short little segment here as we wrap up. Before we wrap up, though, we have some holiday picks to talk about. This is the season.
Be serious this time.
So I was really curious. It's just a fun little thing just to get some look up, some Google searches going. But holidays are one of those things. You're either for it or you're not. But even if you're not, there's always a good holiday movie or book to read. I'm really curious about your guys' take on the holiday favorites. We'll start with Dan, the Family Man.
Oh man, wrong, bad choice.
That means it was the right choice.
Give me a book and a movie. Give me a book and a movie.
I have a book and a movie that I do read and watch every December. Oh. And it's the ones that I probably read every other month too. I will probably sit, and they're doing a release of extended version of Fellowship up here at the theater. So I will be there. No doubt about it. I saw all 3 back in the day in theaters. And I will continue to do that as long as they distribute it there. So my buddies and I up here, we go through the trilogy extended version. So that's a non-negotiable every December, movie-wise. Book-wise, as little time as I get, I did start dabbling back into, I told you guys earlier, it's so silly, but I'm reading my Ocarina of Time graphic novel. One of my favorites. I've read it about 1 billion times, but I like it as a December read. I don't know what it is. Maybe it reminds me of summer. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I always find myself wanting to look at a big, thick graphic novel in the December winter days. So
yeah, because you're not going outside.
Yeah, that's so exciting, but same thing every year.
Love that. Chris, what are your picks?
So obviously I have to choose the seminal obvious Christmas holiday movie that has just touched so many hearts and minds over the years. And of course, that would be Die Hard. And as we forgot, Die Hard 2 is also a Christmas movie. So you have to watch both of them back to back, because if you don't leave milk, cookies, and a submachine gun, a pair of tennis shoes, and a Twinkie in your vent for John McClane on Christmas, you're doing it wrong. I don't make the rules.
I thought you were going to say Jingle All the Way.
It's similar but different.
Yeah, maybe.
Think about it.
It's a top tier one, honestly. If
right,
you guys haven't, if you're too young to remember that movie, go
right. Congratulations. Google all of that. You're welcome. And for book, I don't really have a holiday book this year. It's mostly I don't have time to read, I feel like.
I know.
And I am reading through all kinds of. Well, I'm finally catching up on comic stuff. That's a story for another time. Chris does not have a local comic shop, and I'm trying to support local comic shops. But be picking up and jumping back into that. But I am a complete nerd, not just comic book nerds. And I've been told I need to read Dungeon Crawler Carl, which apparently is like on book 8, and I'm just picking up book 1, and they're like actually like fantasy books. Ooh. And I'm like, dang. But so I guess that's my Christmas read. Well, I figure out what on earth is going on, and then probably I'm gonna have to wedge in the trilogy as well, because it just makes sense. Yeah. I usually do it around New Year's because it's like, I don't have anything to do today. And my wife's like, cool, we're just going to do this, right? And it's like, yes, we are.
A good watch.
And 14 hours later.
But you don't get tired of it either. It's impossible to burn out. It's just as epic and entertaining. I love that. Those are great picks. My movie pick, honestly, cinema classic. You can't go throughout Christmas without watching Friday After Next. It's a holiday family gathering movie that it gets overlooked too much and is my favorite.
Awesome. That's funny. I did not expect that. It's a great movie.
It's my favorite Christmas movie every year. That and Muppet Christmas Carol kind of like battle for the top, but it's typically Friday After the Next.
It's funny.
It goes with the branding, I guess.
They're kind of the same movie, right?
It's on brand for something.
Top flight security guards, man. That's what I'm looking for. But I made this question and I realized I wasn't reading a holiday book, but I am reading a book that starts with C. I'm reading the Coheed and Cambria Year of the Black Rainbow novel. And so, I mean, fantasy.
How is that not Christmas?
Right. Honestly, you got the throughout the whole thing, you know?
That's
So that's
awesome.
actually they're re-releasing it in May. So I also got the release pre-order as well. That comes with a vinyl audiobook.
Well played.
Yeah.
Cool.
Coheed knows. They know what's up.
Yeah, hands down. When you talk comics and music, yeah, I'm there. Hands down, I'm
For
right
sure.
there.
For
Is this
sure.
no? This is I have a Coheed wizard
You were like,
shirt,
what am I?
but this is
what
a
did I put on?
Mastodon wizard shirt, so it was close. It's a holiday themed still.
That'll do.
But I think that's it. I think that's it for the first episode of the print shop. We don't want to. I mean, we wanted to do it in 30 minutes, but this was a nice little chunky 50-minute. You know,
when have we ever had a 30-minute conversation?
Honestly, though, yeah.
We had things to talk about. We
When
had
I'm
to
around.
share. We had to share the joys of Die Hard, Friday After Next,
Lord of the
Jingle
Rings.
All the Way, Lord of the Rings. Like that's what the people came for, and they got it at minute.
I'm
55.
curious in what they would say.
Yeah,
curious.
you know,
Yeah, drop
let
those in
us
the comments. But you
the
play us out.
comments, drop them in the chat in our Discord. Let us
You
know.
got
We'll put a
2
little
minutes.
poll there.
Drop your movie in there. Drop your comic book. Drop your book.
And if you drop them all, Dan will watch them all tomorrow.
I will. I'll
And we'll
record
videotape
myself watching every
Right.
single one of them.
We'll start
You won't
doing.
get to see what movie he's watching. You'll just get to see the reaction. That's it.
We'll have a Discord channel where you just watch Dan work all day. That's what we should do.
The Dan cam.
Oh no!
Dan cam.
Rated R, dude.
Yeah.
Me cursing at myself in my my dungeon.
That's right.
My wife asking if I'm okay.
Eyes wide shut.
Eyes wide shut.
Oh,
The movie
man.
that quite literally probably killed Kubrick. Sure.
Yeah, literally. Yeah. Honestly. Well, guys, thank you so much for this first episode. This was a great time. Thank you to everyone who watched and tuned in or shared or will be tuning in and watching this later. We really appreciate it. Don't forget, every Thursday night is Spilled Ink, our live drawing show from 6:30 to 8:30 EST. We are taking a holiday break. We're taking 2 weeks off. We're taking Christmas off and New Year's Day off just because I need to breathe too. And so I'm tired. I'm so tired.
No more shows. More shows.
Fine. We're only
So-
releasing 30 more shows next year.
Yeah, no, honestly,
month.
we'll have so much more content coming your guys' way in every direction. Cats, Comics, and Coffee will come back in the new year. You guys sent like 18 packages, so I can't not do that show now. So thank you guys so much for sending so many books to 4-Color Fantasies for me to review. Content will be coming your way. The shows will keep on rolling. We already have guests booked for January, and we have one more episode of Inspired Ink in December as well. So a lot of stuff happening, a lot of updates. Just stay tuned. We'll be doing another episode. We're aiming for a bi-weekly show, so we'll do a yearly recap on the 30th, so you guys can enjoy your New Year's. And I think that about wraps it up. Dan, any last shout outs?
To all the creators in there, in this community that are literally, I say this every time and I'll never stop saying it. Those who stuck by us through the thick and thin, they are going to be greatly rewarded with sticking by us through this evolution, because there is this time it's a lot more exciting and there's a lot more cool things coming out of it. So I just want to shout out to all creators out there that are still hustling, even though the world keeps telling you everything's impossible and stop, all these
Lies.
crazy indie comics are dying. No, they're not. They're not. So keep chugging along and keep creating. I think that's important. So just a big shout out to all those creators out there that say, oh, we shouldn't curse on these, but screw the naysayers.
I try not to, but it happens. It's a couple of
Oh, well, I'm a sailor, so it slips out sometimes.
Oops.
Chris, any final shout outs?
No, just happy to be here. But also just what Dan said, that the industry is full of lots of folks that have plenty of opinions, and well, we're here to make comics and do good things, and that's what we really hope the community takes away from everything. So if I can just say so myself, just, hey, remember, kids, keep creating comics. It's that easy.
That's literally my job.
If we stop creating, then yes, then there is no industry. But there's nothing that can stop us from creating. So just keep going.
Chris said it the best, and honestly, my entire job, I've always said, is if you guys keep on making, if I inspire you to make comics and you go out there and make comics and start printing your books, I'm employed. So thank you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you for letting me do my job.
Yes, yeah. Thank you. My boss is here. I need you guys to do
that. Please keep creating comics. Otherwise, Brandon can't do this next week.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm gonna have a GoFundMe go up.
We made this show for that purpose.
Needed to get that revenue from YouTube in. Oh man. Well, guys, thank you so much. It's always a blast hanging, and it's always a blast talking to our community. We'll be here on Discord. We'll be coming back at you in 2 weeks. Spilled Ink. The last episode for the year is this Thursday. The last episode of Inspired Ink is the 28th. It's a Sunday evening with Sarah Cook, and we're gonna be talking about the Zelda Awards. A lot of cool stuff regarding that too. We'll be talking about the show. A lot of cool topical things that'll be on this. So all the insider stuff. Thank you for tuning into the print shop, and thanks for hanging.